the Tuesday, March 16th Board of Elections meeting to order at 11 o'clock. And at this time, if there's any public, now would be a great time to address the board. Hearing no public comment, I'll move ahead to approval of the consideration of approving the minutes of the Board of Elections meeting held on Tuesday, March 2nd.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from March 2nd.
I'll second the motion.
All right, fantastic. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes or any other discussion involving them? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, unanimous. Okay, we have no new business, no old business, but we do have one discussion item, which is the agreement with the Penn Stater Hotel and Conference Center for the vote-by-mail processing room. Total minimum anticipated cost is $19,987.50, which will be provided to Penn State as an in-kind payment for the period of March 13th, 2001 through March 21, 2021. Anybody want to add some context to this discussion?
Sure, happy to do so. And just essentially what we're looking at is after we get through the pandemic, we think there's going to be other opportunities to do this type of larger count, potentially at a county facility. But for the time being, with a primary election that will have many candidates on the ballot, therefore they are able to have a, I guess, seat at the table or be in the room when the vote by mail count's going on. It does make sense for us to go to a larger venue for the time being. I think in November we may not need to utilize the Penn Stater, but for the primary, it would be a good thing to utilize. But essentially, we're looking at setting up on Monday, May 17th. The ballot counting would occur on Tuesday, the 18th. We would continue counting some of the remaining ballots on Wednesday, the 19th, and then we would begin to tear down as well on the 19th, and then final tear down would be on the 20th. The reason why the contract has a few dates before that and after that is because the Penn Stater has a small room, and it's like an auxiliary room that they allowed us in the November election to bring some of our supplies there early on so that we could just stage them there and have them ready. It made for our facilities management folks a little bit easier when they needed to get equipment out to the polling locations prior to that general election. So this just helps to stage things, get them there, and then it gives us a few days afterwards just to make sure that we can get out of the President's Hall as quickly as possible. It was great to utilize them last year, and I think we're going to have a great time again this year. And this just gives us a lot of runway in making sure that we secure the room. And so Betsy has given a sign off on the contract, and we would just be putting it on a future Board of Commissioners agenda. The target at this time is Thursday, 2 Thursdays from now, so the 25th, Thursday the 25th, we could approve this and move forward on it just so Penn State is able to lock us in. No, it just basically it's the same parameters as last year, same cost using in kind, but I think it'll be a good use for the of the Penn Stater. So happy to answer any questions.
No, I think it's pretty straightforward.
Okay.
Mike, this is Mark. I was wondering, for the people who process the mail-in ballots in the primary, do we have enough money left in the grant to be able to pay at least some of them, or are we going with volunteers?
No, we would. So the way we did it, did it in the general election for the counting of the ballots was we were able to utilize a rate of 1018, which is our floater rate. And based upon the amount of hours that individuals worked in the room, we were able to pay them with that through the grant. I think it was around $18,000 is what it came to. We had quite a few people there, but I think because we're going to have less ballots and we're going to be able to structure things, I think, a little bit more efficiently, learning what we learned from the November election, we can probably get that cost down considerably. But yes, we do have remaining funds in the grant to utilize to compensate them. Yes.
Well, sounds great. Thanks.
Sure.
All right. Is there any other questions in regard to the agreement with the Penn Stater? If not, I guess we'll ask for a motion to move this to the Board of Commissioners for consideration.
Okay, I'd make a motion to move this item to the Board of Commissioners meeting for Thursday, March 25th.
I will second the motion.
Okay, properly moved and seconded. Excuse me. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, great. Okay, we will note the two election announcements, which is the last day to file objections to nominating petitions and the last day for withdrawal by candidates who filed nomination petitions. Is there any other discussion or any other anything for the good of the order for the context of this meeting?
One final thing is just to give everybody the heads up about the casting of lots that will be happening tomorrow. And it's on our calendars to begin at 10 a.m. at the Willowbank Building, and that would be for the Board of Elections to be in the room. Jody will also be in there with us. We're going to have Samantha Reese at the front door helping to bring in candidates who are opting to come themselves to draw their lot number. We did give the opportunity for people to join via Zoom. If they wanted to watch the proceedings that way, they can do that. But we have things scheduled out every 5 minutes. We have a group of people coming in, and I think we're gonna fly right through it. But the estimate would be it'll take anywhere from 90 minutes on the good end, potentially 2 hours, depending on, because we do have quite a number of contested races. But if they do not show up or they're not there in person, it'll make it a lot more efficient. But again, as Betsy looked at it, we needed to still have this event in person and give that option. But I think, again, we're going to have things well organized and go from there tomorrow. So it should be a fun time.
All right, we'll see everybody again at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning for the casting of lots. Anything else?
Nothing else from me.
This is with the CDT. I just have a few questions about the upcoming election. The main one just being, does Center County plan to use drop boxes in the primary like it did in the November election and then in June?
To the best of my knowledge, yes.
And just to clarify, obviously things can always change, but is Center County anticipating to use like the same number of drop boxes outside the Willowbank Building and then the other building or the other drop boxes that were stationed throughout the county?
Again, to the best of my knowledge, yes. Is there any other, I guess maybe one of the other board members or the staff might have any other information? I don't know of any other changes.
Yeah, I think that's the goal. We're still planning and working on this. Now, the crucial point is making sure that we can have the transportation necessary to pick up the ballots, and we've confirmed that. And then also making sure that our sheriff's office is able to accompany them, and we've confirmed that as well. But again, the logistics come from the municipal. So we partner with a lot of municipalities. We also partner with Penn State to locate drop boxes. So we just need to confirm with them to make sure that they're still able to utilize them. But all signs point to go. So I think it's going to look very close to last year. The next steps would just be to have a discussion about this at a Board of Elections meeting so that we can work out any final parameters for this. But yeah, that's the hope.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay. No other questions? I guess nothing else for the good of the order. I entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, properly moved to second. Any other discussion before we adjourn? Hearing none? All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, we're adjourned. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Take care, everybody.